Morning students, myself Renu Yadav, and today I will teach you class 3rd Science Chapter 3 Birds. Let us first discuss about the different feathers of birds. A bird's body is covered with different types of feathers. Types of feathers: down feathers and flight feathers. All birds have bodies covered with feathers. Each bird has different kind of feathers that help it to do different things. There are two kinds of feathers. First one is down feathers and the other one is flight feathers. Down feathers. They are small and fluffy feathers. They keep the bird's body warm. The first type of feathers is down feathers. Down feathers used to keep the bodies of birds warm. They are very minute, hair-like, soft and fluffy. Flight feathers. They are attached to the wings. They are flat and long. They help the birds to fly. The second type of feather is flight feather. Flight feathers help a bird to fly. They are much stronger and harder than other feathers. They are found in the tail and wings of a bird. Beaks of birds. Different kinds of birds have beaks of different shapes. The shape of a bird's beak depends on the kind of food it eats. Birds use their beak to pick up and eat their food. They also use their beaks to make their nest. Birds eat with the help of their beaks. Birds do not have teeth. They either swallow the food whole or use their beak to break or tear food into small pieces before swallowing. Shape of the beak depends on the kind of food they eat. Now let us learn about different kinds of beaks. The first one is small, hard and pointed beak. These beaks are used to eat grains, seeds or cracked nuts. These are also used to pick up seeds and pick up worms. Sparrow, peacock and pigeons have these kind of beaks. Short, hard and pointed ones. Hooked beak. Hooked beak helps it to crack nuts and bite hard fruits. These are strong and curved beaks. Parrots and other parakeets have this kind of beak, which are used to open fruits nuts. The beak is very strong and curved. Third one is strong, sharp and hooked beak. Such a beak helps birds to tear the flesh. Eagles, vultures and hawks have this kind of beak. They use their beak to tear the flesh. Strong, sharp and hooked. Next is broad and flat beaks with tiny holes at the side. Ducks have broad and flat shovel-like beaks. These beaks help them to dig in the soft mud near ponds to find worms for their food. These beaks have strainers along the edge of the beak. Water and mud goes out of these strainers, leaving worms inside. Ducks and swans use their beaks to scoop muddy water along with plants and insects. Muddy water flows out through the holes, leaving plants and insects inside. See here in the picture, you can see the broad and flat beaks of duck. Next is strong, hard and heavy beak. This type of beak helps to make holes in the trunks and to catch insects for its food. The example of strong and pointed beak is the beak of woodpecker. Woodpecker have strong, hard and heavy beak. It acts like a chisel to remove bark and find insects inside it, hiding in the bark. It has very long tongue which is sticky at the tip for catching insects. So, the insects which are hiding in the bark of a tree are caught by the woodpecker with the help of its strong and pointed beak. Broad and short beaks. Swallows have this kind of beak. Their mouth is sticky from inside as they go round and round through the air with beaks open. Tiny insects get stuck into their mouth. Children, this is the example of broad beaks, swallows. They have short and broad beaks which is sticky on the inside, and insects used to get stuck inside the sticky beak, and these birds feed on insects. Kingfishers. Now the next type of beak we will talk about will be the beak of kingfisher. Kingfishers have broad, long and pointed beak to catch fish from the water bodies. They used to eat fish from water, so they have broad, long and pointed beak. Next is long, thin and pointed beak. Sunbird has long, thin and pointed beak to suck nectar from the flowers. They used to suck nectar from the flowers, so they have long, thin and pointed beak. Another example of this kind of beak is hummingbird. Hummingbird also have this kind of beak, long, thin and pointed. Feet and claws of birds. Birds use their feet and claws to walk, hop and sit on the branches of the tree. They also help the birds to catch and hold their food. If we talk about feet and claws, we can divide birds into praying birds and scratching birds. Birds have different kind of feet and claws depending on how and where they live. They use their feet and claws to catch and hold their food. They use them to fight and to move. Praying birds, like vultures and eagles, have sharp claws with curved nails called talons to kill their prey and tear the flesh. Birds like vultures and eagles used to eat flesh, and their claws help them to tear the flesh and eat them. On their heels they have very curved nails. Second is scratching birds. Scratching birds like hens and peacocks have sharp claws and strong legs. These help them to scratch the ground to look for seeds and worms. Hens scratch the ground for seeds and worms. They have very strong legs with 3 toes in front and 1 at the back. The toes have sharp, hard claws to dig the ground. A nest is a home of a bird. Nests are a shelter for their eggs and young ones. Birds lay their eggs in a nest. The eggs hatch and the young ones come out. Birds used to build nests. Birds build nests on the ground and in trees and bushes. Nests are made of dry grass and twigs. Mud is also used quite often to make nests. Soft things like moss, feathers, wool or grass are used for lining the nest. From inside, birds build different kinds of nest. Types of nest. There are different kinds of nest and their names are weaver bird's nest, vulture's nest, tailor bird's nest, woodpecker's nest, sparrow's nest and kingfisher's nest. Weaver bird's nest. Weaver bird weaves its nest from grass and leaves. It has slight bend inside it, which prevents the eggs from falling. The weaver bird weaves a nest of grass in a tree. Nest is made soft from inside with the help of feathers. Looks like a bottle hanging upside down. The bird enters its home through a tunnel-like opening at the bottom of the nest. Second type is vulture's nest. Vultures use sticks to make nest in tall trees. The nest of a vulture looks like a shallow cave. The nest of vultures are made in tall trees, for which they use sticks. Tailor bird's nest. Tailor bird makes its nest with leaves. It uses its beak as a needle to sew the leaves using thread and wool. Tailor bird uses its beak like a needle to sew two large leaves together with plant fiber to form a nest. Each stitch is tied in a knot. How interesting, right? Next is woodpecker's nest. Woodpecker make their nest in tree trunks with the help of their beaks. Woodpecker used to have strong and pointed beaks, and with the help of their beaks they used to make their nest. Sparrow's nest. Sparrows and pigeons build their nest on ventilators, roofs of houses and other places. They are very social birds. They used to live close to humans. Next is kingfisher's nest. Kingfishers make a hole along the bank of a river and use it as a nest. They used to make holes along river bank and they used to use that hole as their nest. Yes, children. Now we will discuss about the sounds of birds. Most birds make noises and sounds that scientists have been able to group into two types. The sound of birds is grouped into two types. The first one is call and the other one is song. Okay? Let's see what call is. Calls are short tunes that are used to give warning to other birds. Okay? Calls are short tunes that give warning to other birds. Now, let us hear a bird call. Okay, my parrot just called. Did you hear that? Okay, now let us hear the call of a sparrow. Okay, children, this was the call of sparrow, and you heard that my parrot is so excited after hearing this sound. Okay, so just now we discussed about call of birds, and now the other type is songs. Songs are longer tunes with repeated sound patterns that make them sound musical. Okay, so songs are longer tunes. Calls are short one, but they are longer tunes with repeated sound pattern. Let us hear a bird song. Okay, so what does these things means? What does a call means, or what does a song means? So when a bird calls, that means it has found food, or it is worried, or it want to say that look out, there is a flying predator, or don't disturb, this is my territory. And when a bird sings, that time maybe a bird want to say that I'm lovely, I'm so happy, and I'm singing a song. Children, in this chapter we have learned a lot about birds, how they live, how they look, about their feathers, what they eat, where they live, the types of houses they are having, everything. Now we should also take care of them. And how we should take care of them? Firstly, we should never touch eggs in a bird's nest. If you find a bird's nest, never touch their eggs. Do not touch or move a bird's nest. You should never touch or move a bird's nest, and do not pick up a baby bird from the nest. Okay, we should never pick up any baby bird from the nest. With that, we can also take care to keep food and water for them. With this, I end up today's topic. I hope now we all will be more loving and caring towards birds. Thank you.